This is a Play Your Way network presentation. Get the full story at PlayLifeYourWay.com. Previously on the Play Your Way podcast.
Because The Last Jedi is finally up on us.
Outside of that, I expect perfection from this. So my levels are high. I expect a great movie. I know it's going to be good acting, special effects. Like this is the business right here. And like I said, I look forward to just having that feeling that the generation before us got to feel when they went to go see this in the theaters. You know what I mean?
I'm just excited we're going to get a true sequel to seeing what happens to Luke. You know, I mean, that's something we've been wondering since.
I've been wondering since I saw it when I was a kid.
And you get a little taste of it in The Force Awakens, but now we'll really see. Like, you can see how he screwed up with trying to train Kylo. And you can see,
They came, they podcasted, and left you wanting more. So this time, they're back to finish you off. It's time to take a deep dive. The Player Way.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, with all due respect, this is your boy BK, and you heard what the man said. It's time for the deep dive. And for the first time on the deep dive, I got one of my co-captains, Derek.
That's me, corrupting the system on Instagram. Take all the vowels out for Twitter, and you already know.
Oh, man, you like how I did that? You like that? One now? I did. And Nate is actually sending us live updates right now. He's actually in the theater somewhere in Los Angeles. So all three of us co-captains, we actually all got to see it on opening day. We don't always get that opportunity.
We saw it. I saw it actually back in, was that September?
Oh.
That is what you're talking about, right?
So stupid. You're so stupid. Anyway, what we're talking about, if you did not see the title, we are doing a live reaction, like fresh reaction, live
fresh
review.
Out.
We just came out fresh from The Last Jedi. So this is going to be a spoiler-free review. So feel free to watch. We're not going to spoil anything for you. We're not going to give anything away because it's too scrumptious.
I'm not going to spoil.
Do you agree, Derek?
Movie that will probably have the biggest opening weekend ever, and it's close because its predecessor is the one that holds that title, The Force Awakens. This is going to be a close contender, so I don't want to spoil that too much. So
let's just jump right into it because this is not going to be a very long episode. First and foremost, if you did not get an opportunity to buy tickets to the fan, they did this special thing where the first showings in a theater around the country were like the actual premiere. And it was a little bit more expensive of a ticket, but you got these commemorative like popcorn and drink combos along with like posters and such along with it. And there was also a featurette, so it was like the actual fan appreciation showing.
Absolutely.
Derek, you went to that as well, correct?
I was just you were talking about that memorabilia. You were getting that memorabilia.
He's walking away from the microphone. Yeah. Oh, okay. He's grabbing it. Okay. I was like, I know he's not about to go use the restroom like right now. Not right now. So no. Exactly. So yeah. So it was cool.
Of course, yeah.
Your showing had the featurette before as well, right?
Like we're not spoiling anything. No one else will get to see what we saw tonight. Like period. The end.
It's going to get to see that. Exactly. So that's not a spoiler. Most likely it's going to end up on YouTube, but it was a featurette about the music and having the same composer for every single one thus far and kind of like giving the guy his roses. It was kind of weird because it was almost like in case he dies before the next one, we appreciate you, John Williams.
It was really, first of all, that's... As much as a nerd this is about to make me sound, which I have no quarrels with saying what I'm about to say. My favorite thing from all Star Wars franchises, besides, of course, the lightsaber sound, is John Williams. John Williams and Hans Zimmer are my two favorite modern day composers, and to see the side by sides of him back in '76, standing before the orchestra, where he was even aghast that he could compile the London Symphony Orchestra to play his music. Just to see that, and then to see it all nearly 40 years later, that was really emotional. That was really emotional.
And speaking of emotional. Now, Derek, tell me how yours was, but in Atlanta, those fan appreciation ones happened like I did it at a Regal, so it was in the RPX and it was in 3D, which I'm not a big 3D fan, but you had to watch it in 3D. What about yours?
Mine was at an AMC in IMAX.
Okay, so yours was IMAX. Okay, so we got two
3D.
different. Nice. So we have two different perspectives: one from the 3D RPX, and then one from the IMAX. And so, what was it like to see Avengers, the Avengers trailer
on a screen that's 100 feet wide? When the second I saw, we tried to assemble a team, I go like this.
I feel like if we,
I gave the Tiger Woods.
I feel like if
Tiger Woods.
If we make it big, like.
And then
I feel like if we make it big, one of the things that we should start doing is selling tickets to watch a movie for the first time with us, because I know us separately cut up. Like, what did you do after the trailer played?
I will say the second Thanos showed up, I hit that dead ass. I need them stones.
And what I did as soon as the trailer was over with, I got up in the middle of my row and said, "All right, I'm done. That's all I need. Y'all enjoy the movie."
That is all I need. Is enjoy the movie.
So so that was what, and then it was time. And then it was time.
I only had like two trailers before, and then they went straight.
Man,
into
we
the
had a
business.
bunch of them because of the 3D thing. But it was great. Okay, so like I said, we're gonna keep this spoiler free. If one thing that people are concerned about is if you were one of those people who said, "Man, The Force Awakens was like a rehash of old stuff. It was fun to watch. It was its own standalone movie, but it covered a lot of ground and didn't really further the lore much other than introducing some characters." This, Derek,
you had, of course, the obvious themes, the similar parallels. There were a few lines that were literally straight out of Star Wars, like obviously there was true, but as we were curious before on our quotes, this was not a parallel to Empire Strikes Back. I had Empire Strikes Back vibes, but this was not an exact parallel. This was its own.
It was its own movie. It was its own movie,
heavily borrowed from the franchise. But when you have something like this, you have to.
And I really appreciate that they came out with Rogue One in between this one, because
absolutely
a lot of the themes from Rogue One are in this, and you have to be introduced to some ideas before you get there. This is not going to spoil anything, but the idea of that there are casualties in war and that people do die. Like, people forget that Star Wars is an actual war. Like the Jedi are cool. You know, the Sith are cool, but the war is what this is all about, and everyone is a soldier.
It's the corruption.
Yes, the war.
Exactly. About corruption.
Exactly. So
but it's about corruption. Sorry, go ahead.
So when someone dies in this film, or they get hurt really, really bad, you feel it. Like, you're like, okay, we're losing real people, not fake.
You're right.
Like, made up people. And that's something that was weird, because in the original Star Wars film, when fighter pilots got blown up, I didn't really feel like they were dying.
Care.
You didn't care, but in this one, a fighter.
I just wanted to see a fact.
When you watch the fighter, the firefights that happen, it's going. It's the business. It's the knees of the bees, if you will.
Oh, yes, those beautiful knees.
Moving further along, Leia is definitely in the film. People were concerned about that, about how they were going to handle that.
I feel like she was in the film just enough.
She was.
Just enough for what you needed it to be.
She was.
It wasn't overly because Carrie Fisher's no longer here, let's saturate the film with it. It was just
It was not about Carrie Fisher. It was about Leia Organa.
Yep.
There you go. Exactly.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
The movie, when it comes to the whole situation with Rey and Luke Skywalker, it picks up right where it left off. So you know exactly.
Literally, scene for scene.
Luke Skywalker, man, you learn a lot about Luke Skywalker. I would say of any other film, you learn the most about Luke Skywalker in this film. And this film is yes, you learn the most about Luke Skywalker in this film. Would you agree?
You learn a lot about his character.
You learn a lot about what motivates him. It's this movie.
What his interests are. What's precious to him.
This movie is not. While it's a departure from what you've seen before, and it furthers the lore. It very much is still a part of the same mythos. Like, yes, that's all I can say. The stuff that happens between Rey and Luke on the planet will remind you of other scenes that have happened in other films, and Luke's journey continues. It's not a completely different Luke Skywalker. It is the same Luke Skywalker. It's just you're understanding kind of what he has been dealing with all of this time.
You that's so accurate.
Yes.
Without spoiling.
Yes, without spoiling.
That's so
anything.
accurate
Yes.
on there. Like I know Monday night when we hit this up for real, we're gonna really take the true deep dive. This should be called the snorkel dive, man. We're just snorkeling.
Yeah,
we're just snorkeling on this
just
one.
treading
We're not
water
full
a little
scuba.
bit.
We're not
just
full
treading
scuba.
water a little bit.
Yeah, we get our toes wet, maybe our knees rolled up our slap.
If you ever wanted to finally see some real Jedi training, you finally do get to see some of that here. You really get a good idea of what the First Order is about, what they're trying to accomplish. You really finally get an understanding of what the First Order is pissed. After the last film, they were made fools of. So they are immediately right after everyone. Like, this movie picks up like almost right after the last film. Like, it's going down immediately.
This movie is not the 20-second delay between Netflix episodes. It's the 5-second one.
Yes.
Okay, it's the one where it jumps straight. Whoop.
Oh, okay.
All
so
right,
we
here
jump
go.
right into it. Like, okay, that's what we're doing.
We're right in. We're right in. We're right in this thing.
What else can we say? You learn a lot more about Kylo Ren. They really go into a lot of what the audience thinks about Kylo Ren and the criticisms of him. They embrace that, and you realize now that that's just a part of who he is as a character and a part of his journey.
Who he is.
And so
I will say I do appreciate that.
Yes.
Because oftentimes movie franchises hear the fans, they hear the criticism, and then they begin to adjust their original vision. And then that's when you get the discrepancies, like with people's frustration with Batman not honestly understanding his true conflict and seemingly changing through films. This is the exact same Kylo Ren from what we saw before.
What you hear in the trailer about this film, I think Luke Skywalker in the trailer says this will not go the way you think it will. And that's kind of like, that's it. Yes, that's it. There is no, what I love about it is there is no big twist to be had. Like what you
It wasn't
needed. And that's what was great, is this movie did not hinge on like one thing. Like, it's like, it kind of even dismisses how silly it is to need to have like some big reveal. Like there are things that are said that say that
there are movies.
Yeah, go ahead.
There are movies that can use a twist to their complete benefit. There are movies that I would dare say to require it. Not because of M. Night Shyamalan twisting everybody's mind back in '99, people latched onto that. Just like they latched on the Wachowski brothers' bullet time animation. That's why we got so tired of it. We got tired of twists. We don't need it all the time. Sometimes it's okay because we have 40 years of history to just tell the story.
Yes,
just tell the story. Just like what we said about DC. not DC,
Yes.
but DC. They have enough material just to tell the story. They don't have to do all this extra.
There's a lot more movie here than I expected. Like, this movie is like going to a restaurant and expecting to like get a menu, and then when you get there, they're like, oh no, this is like a full-on buffet. Go ahead. And you're like, I didn't know I was going to eat this much in one sitting. And you feel very grateful. Like some films, like,
I just came here for some
like Justice League. People, the biggest criticism of Justice League is you're like, man, that movie could have been longer. I feel like I didn't get enough. In this one, there's a part in the movie. There's at least a couple of times in the movie I'm like, oh, they're going to do that now? Oh, I expected a cliffhanger at this moment, and it's going down now? Okay, let's do it. Yeah. Derek is looking into the camera deep. He knows exactly what I'm saying.
I was like, the credits are about to come up right now. Just prepare yourself,
Yes!
Eric. Don't even fall for this business.
Yes!
You've seen this before. You know.
Oh, it's going down? Oh, it's going down now? Okay. I'm putting cases on all you suckers. It's like,
Oh, you Jake!
man, it's I was really excited. It's not the movie if you had told me there's stuff that happened in this movie that Derek kind of hinted at, because I think he saw some spoilers, and I was like, I hope that doesn't happen. And the thing that I said that about, Derek, I was like, okay, you have some skill. I'm okay with the way this is going down, because it reminds you a lot of what happens in Return of the Jedi.
Okay, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm with you on
that is what would have happened. You're like, yeah, that's what would have happened. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
It makes sense. That
you
makes
definitely
sense.
get
That
a
also makes
really
sense.
good idea of what separates the light and the dark in terms of training. And you realize something about the Force and what the dark side is versus what the light side is. And what the kernel of truth is that is at the heart of a Sith, as opposed to what is at the heart of a Jedi.
Absolutely. The thing is, we have I do mean to keep harping on it. What am I talking about? Why would I make an excuse for what I'm about to say? We have so much material on the Sith and the Jedi.
Yeah.
However, we have, as much as we have only seen it as light and dark in essence. There is a line in here that is said by a character where it's like, what is this? It's this. That's what you think it is, but it's not.
Yes.
And we've all thought it throughout every single one,
Yeah.
but it makes perfect sense. It's one of those, the most simplistic answer was the right answer, because that's just how it should be. That's how it would be.
And you realize that
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and you realize that the reason why the Sith have always had an issue within their own religion, and why the Jedi have always had an issue within their order, why there's always been failure in either path. Like, failure is a part of what both sides do. If you really think about it, the Jedi actually never win, and the Sith never win either. And there's an explanation as to why that is and what that means. What does it mean to
Exactly.
be within that, to live within that, to look at the lights with that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sometimes you got to walk with
You gotta
that.
look at the lights with that. My final thoughts. Derek, you take it off. I've been doing most of the talking. You lead off the final thoughts.
No, you're good, man. Final thoughts on this. Whatever you are expecting, whatever you're wanting, just know that there's always going to be the element of, why was this? I would have done this. What's the explanation for this? That's always going to be a part of pretty much any movie experience you're going to have. And when it comes to something like this, you need to make sure you have proper expectations, just like I've said on our podcast so many times with tied to comic book movies. Taking a comic book and turning it into a movie is a lengthy intelligent, painstaking process to take a franchise as hallowed as Star Wars and to continue making film was a bold move on Disney's part. They've had a lot of success. They've continued to go ahead and be that monopoly conglomerate, as we saw this week, but we'll save that for another podcast. Keep in mind, there's always going to be the aspect of this type of power and energy on the screen that is going to either leave you wanting more, it's going to leave you dissatisfied, or it's going to leave you completely satisfied. You can't make a sweeping declaration on any aspect of it because everyone's opinion is going to be their own. I know there's going to be people that go out and watch this and they're going to hate it. I know for a fact there's going to be people out there that are going to watch this and be like, this, and this, and this, and this. And then there's going to be people out there who are going to be like, I appreciate the thought behind this because this actually helps make episode 1 through 3 make a lot more sense.
Yes.
Just this one line.
Yes, it does.
There's gonna be.
I know exactly what line you're talking about.
We'll get in more.
Yes, there is definitely a scene that explains Mace Windu's death. Like,
yes.
Basically,
yes.
It's like this
He
is
said
why.
what we've all been thinking.
Yes.
Or she said what we've all been thinking. Or the alien said what we've all been thinking.
Yoda was getting his ass kicked by Palpatine. There's a little kernel that said, "Oh, that's why. This is why." And it's something that I've always said about the Jedi Order in episodes 1 through 3, and people don't really, anyway. Long story short, if you don't like this movie, something is wrong with you. I think that I'm definitely going to watch it again with some other people and talk about it some more.
Is there something wrong with me?
Something must be wrong with you.
Surely not. Is there something wrong with me, or do I have a complete, solid, hearty, logical argument ready for Monday night?
I'm interested to hear what that is.
I don't know. I don't even know. What am I talking about?
If you hated this movie, we're gonna have a definite. We're gonna fight, bro. We're gonna fight on Monday.
Hey, fight me. Hate is always a powerful word, but I would always just say there's as corrupting the system brand grows, asking why is a powerful question. Yes. Asking somebody why 6 times usually gets you to the root of the question or the root of their thoughts. I have some whys that I want to ask my co-captains. Yes. I definitely have some whys.
We definitely.
And some X and Z's.
And if you are... This is the perfect movie to watch on a day where net neutrality took a huge hit. On a day where it was announced that Disney is exactly who we thought they were. And Sony let them off the hook. And...
Man...
And I mean, it's just scrumptious. So if you want to hear more about this film, if you want to hear more about the Disney buyout and what that means, if you want to hear more about net neutrality, listen to us. We will have a podcast out on, we'll do a live Monday night, and then we'll have on Tuesday morning, the podcast will drop. Definitely spending a lot more time myself on this podcast and giving you the exact type of curation you need.
The player way.
So this has been
Monday night. We're gonna before you sign us off. Monday night is are we still? I'm gonna go ahead and tease us if that's all right with you. Monday night is going to be Last Jedi talk and also still top 10.
Yeah,
I
think we're gonna.
Or do you want to push that?
I think we're gonna push top 10 out a little bit further. Well. I think we're gonna maybe we might do half of the top 10. Maybe we do like the bottom 5
because we got Christmas.
Yeah,
we got Christmas
exactly.
So
and I feel like we should. I feel like we should just do top 10 for the Christmas app, and then I think we should just spend because net neutrality we need to talk definitely more about. Because I have my views on that. Yes, it's an important topic, but I think people are overreacting. We could even do a round table on that. Yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, this has been the Player Way Podcast Deep Dive 30.7 with my co-captain, Derek.
That's me corrupting the system. You've seen the hashtag. You've seen the ridiculous posts. If you're looking for me, I'm on Instagram. And take the vowels out if you want to find me on Twitter. If you don't know how to figure that out, I feel bad for you.
And I am your resident DJ, BK, doing everything the player way. And I'll keep it A-OK in absence of our co-captain, Nate. Exactly. So, Nate,
peace out,
love you, bro. We'll talk to you as well. Yeah, and if you guys love the content that we're putting out there, go on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating, leave a comment. We are trying to maintain that top 10 film, and we're trying to make that crossover top 200 list. So the comments, the listens, the views are going to help us, and it's only going to help you out because you want to be the person that says, yo, we were there, out hipster into the player way before it was cool for everybody else to be in there. So, yeah. So right. Anyway,
the bandwagon is only so big,
and it's going to be leaving pretty soon. But no matter what paths we decide to ride that bandwagon down or streets we decide to follow, we're going to make sure we're doing that shit the player way. We'll holler at you guys next week. Thanks, Derek. We'll talk to you, man.
Yes, sir. All right, man. You got it.
Thanks for listening to the Player Way podcast. Recorded in a single take from Los Angeles, California, Dallas, Texas, and Atlanta, Georgia, by Nathan Peterson, Derek Lewis, and BK Jackson.
And I'm Darren Marlar, the majestic voice of the Player Way podcast.
Our opening theme is titled Bound by Ricky Remedy, courtesy of Elysian Records. And our closing theme is titled Coconut King Diaries by Xander, spelled Zahnder. You can find this music by both Ricky Remedy and Xander, and many more tracks on SoundCloud. And remember, no matter what choices you make or paths you follow, just make sure you do it the player way. See you next week.